Despite Rockstar's best efforts to discourage players from doing Cayo Perico over and over, players keep finding ways to skip, glitch, and beat this heist, and even if you play it clean without any trickery, you'll still walk away with $1 million in loot for well under an hour of gameplay. However, there is one thing worth considering whenever you do Cayo: stealth versus no stealth. In my opinion, the latter approach just isn't really worth the extra headache, as going in aggressive, like with the Vellum approach, will simply get you killed or at the very least waste your time, especially if you're solo. That's why myself and thousands of other players like to do Cayo Perico the stealthy way, with minimum collateral damage, and the good news is that this is often the fastest as well as the easiest route. You can easily complete the finale in under 10 minutes if you follow the plan I'm about to provide inside of this video, and if you take this exact path through the compound, I can guarantee that you won't set off the alarm. At the end, you'll walk away with an extra $50,000 in your bank by completing the elite challenge, and an extra $100,000 if you do this heist in hard mode. Okay, so before we talk about stealthing the finale, let's first learn how to get through the island in the planning phase without getting spotted. This is important, as otherwise you'll have to restart your journey from the airstrip every single time you're spotted, and it will waste precious time of yours. First, you want to hop on this bike over here, then ride on the right side of the hill flanking this dirt road and follow this exact path. Once you've arrived at the checkpoint, wait a couple of seconds for the guard on the tower to change direction. There is a cooldown before he changes his view again, so you know it's safe to drive ahead. Take your bike right up to the base of this rocky wall and give it full throttle. You'll climb right over it. From there, all you have to do is avoid the remaining guards on the plantation and head to the top of the hill where you'll find the communications tower. If you see this guard near the base, you know the control box is somewhere on the upper level of the tower. If there's no guard near the base of the tower, the box will always be on the ground level. Hack in by solving some basic math and skip right to the basement level to scope out your main target. Then switch to the office, inspect office cam 1 as well as office cam 2. Ideally, you'll want both paintings here so you can skip the docks and airstrip and head straight to the drainage tunnel. Then you can grab both the primary and secondary loot from the same building to save several minutes of time. But if there's just one painting or no paintings at all, it's not worth it, and you should go for the airstrip instead. Now, after scoping out the targets, what a lot of people do is they climb all the way down and walk into the vision of the nearby guard tower to get a free trip back to the airstrip. Well, guess what? You can quit this session and join a new invite-only lobby with the Casaca set as your spawn point. It achieves the exact same effect, only now you don't have to waste time watching a bunch of cutscenes and flying back to your submarine from LSIA. Pretty neat, isn't it? For stage 2 of our stealth approach, we're gonna need a good approach vehicle. Most players use either the long fin or the Casaca, but since I already have a phantom wedge, I'm going for the long fin as it takes way less time to acquire, and there's also a lot less shooting to do. If you don't have a phantom wedge, it will still probably take less time than finding the enemy Casaca and clearing out its occupants to find that sonar jammer, but the main reason I like the long fin is because it's the fastest way to move around the island, and I can grab my secondary loot first from the airstrip. Then I can head straight out to the compound through the drainage tunnel to get my primary. If you take the Casaca approach, you'll have to grab your primary loot first, then you'll have to exit the compound and steal a bike to get to the docks for your secondary loot. And that approach involves a higher number of guards as well as cameras, so you don't really have any room for error. Whereas with the airstrip, you can go in by shooting just 3 guards or even just 1 guard, and you'll usually find a full bag of loot inside the first hangar itself, so you don't even have to cross the airstrip to get to the second hangar. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here, so I'll show you what I mean once we arrive on the island. Right now, we need to grab that long fin. Fly your Sparrow to the police station, land, and massacre every single person inside. Sometimes the cops will get alerted to your presence while you're landing. If so, no big deal, just kill them anyway. Once you've cleared the place out, blow yourself up with any kind of explosive, be it grenades, sticky bombs, it doesn't really matter. Once you respawn, you'll find your wanted level has disappeared, and now you can drive the long fin to the docks in peace without having to worry about cops tailing you the whole way and shooting out your tires. Quick tip here, if you want to save a few seconds of your time, as soon as you get in the truck, mark this spot on your GPS, otherwise Pavel will keep yapping on the radio before he gives you your coordinates. With the island finally scouted out and all of our prep work done, it's finally time to sneak in and rob El Rubio of his fancy tequila for the 100th time, or maybe even a pink diamond if you're lucky. But before we go in, I want to clarify a few things. See this suppressors option on the prep screen? It doesn't really matter if you check it or not. You'll get suppressors equipped on both your primary and secondary weapons either way, so don't bother with this option. Also, there is virtually no difference between going in during daytime versus night, because unless you kill the power at the substation near the airstrip, the guard's cone of vision remains the same, and even if you kill the power at the substation, as soon as you enter the compound, it will be back, so the only thing you're doing is making things harder for yourself. Alright, now we're finally ready to head into Cayo Perico and make $1 million with the elite challenge on top for that extra 50k. Just as a reminder, if you're taking the long fin or the Casaca approach, you have to stay undetected from start to finish, even after you've exited the compound. Otherwise, you'll fail that elite challenge. There are 4 requirements here. First, you need to complete the finale in under 15 minutes, which is super easy to do, so you don't have to worry about this one really. Secondly, you need to complete all 3 hacks in El Rubio's office without without failing once, which I'll explain how you can do that very soon. Third, you'll need full loot bags. Different types of loot give you different amounts of money, but the order goes like this from most to least valuable. We have Coca-Cola, paintings, grass, and then cash at the very bottom. Gold is even more valuable than the Coca-Cola, but you can't get into that basement storage without a teammate to swipe the key card, so it's irrelevant for solo players. Those are the three obvious requirements for our elite challenge, and the fourth and final one is stealth. When you succeed, the game won't list stealth as a requirement in the ending cutscene, but if you fail, it will show stealth with a cross next to it and deny you the elite challenge bonus, so this is a tricky one to understand for new players. Don't worry though, as I'm about to show you the quickest and easiest stealth route to get the elite challenge done in Cayo. First, you're gonna swing a hard left as soon as this cutscene ends, then head to the airstrip, park your long fin right next to this shoreline, make sure it isn't angled upwards because if you beach it, it will either get stuck or it'll roll away and float about 20 meters into the sea, which will then force you to swim all the way over to the boat when you return. Park it properly and you can just hop back in once you're done looting. Then take out this camera and these two guards. You don't have to headshot them because there's nobody around to hear you mag dump 30 rounds into their butt cheeks. Just make sure to eliminate the second guy before he gets the chance to shoot back, because as soon as these guards fire at you, the entire island is automatically warned of your presence and every single guard instantly knows your precise location, your favorite color, as well as what you ate for breakfast, and even your biggest fears through the power of telepathic communication. So make sure to eliminate these guys before they shoot back and you're good to go. Then take out this one guard who's patrolling the hangar entrance. I like to use the forklift to check what's on the top floor first because I can already see the ground floor loot without cutting in. Sometimes you'll find Coca-Cola on the top floor and you can fill your bag up entirely with 2 stacks of that. If you don't get a full loot bag here, simply run across the airstrip, take out this guard, this camera, and walk in to grab the second stash of loot. With your full bag, holster your weapon, head back to the long fin, and aim its nose straight at that cliffside over there in the distance. If you want tighter turns, simply hold the handbrake button while driving. It's RB on Xbox or R1 on PlayStation. Then turn left here to approach Rubio's compound and jump off about 50 meters away from the rocky cliffside. You'll find that the drainage tunnel is right underneath you. Equip your rebreather, cut through the steel bars, and sit through this cutscene that Rockstar should have made skippable with the Money Fronts update, but they didn't for some reason. Once you're in the compound, the real fun begins here. Everything right before this point was pretty easy, but now you have to follow a specific route to avoid the guards. To be honest, you can do this whole section without killing anyone, or you can swing back around and go for the Juggernaut. But here's the route I take most of the time when I just want to get the objective done ASAP without alerting anyone. Simply climb up these stairs, turn left, and run along these pillars to your right while clinging as close as possible to them so you don't get inside the vision cone of these two guards. Then turn left once you reach the 2 palm trees, and then swing a right at these stairs, then jump up this wall and pause to see where the guard above the stairs is looking. Once he starts walking towards the gate, follow him, and at this point you can dome him with your pistol or ignore him and walk straight up. I like to kill him because he'll sometimes drop the gate key, but other times you just get unlucky and don't have the gate key even after killing all 3 guards near the office building. Right here, it's extremely important that you kill the guard only once he turns to the right. If you drop right as he enters this walled off section, the Juggernaut who's on patrol will spot his body and raise the alarm. This is the part where a lot of players end up failing that stealth check and they wonder how they got caught even though they silently assassinated this guard right here. Next, there is one more guard who walks down the stairs and towards the balcony from El Rubio's office door. For this guy, the most reliable way to kill him without raising the alarm is a simple melee kill. If you shoot him, your bullets can phase through the wall and alert people standing underneath, which is why I just walk up next to him and whack him on the head like this. Alternatively, you can also hug the corner and slip past him without so much as touching him. Then, once you're in the office, grab the cash from El Rubio's wall safe and do the fingerprint hack. It's really easy, and all you have to do is line up the topmost scan with the reference image, and then for every slot underneath, scroll right once from that image. So for the second slot, it's the topmost image plus 1 to the right. For the third slot, it's the topmost image plus 2 to the right, so on and so on. Really easy, shouldn't take you more than a minute. And once you're in the basement, grab your loot, head on back up, and stroll back down. I didn't get the gate key this time, but that's not really an issue because you can simply jump over this wall right here. Make sure the Juggernaut isn't nearby, and you can simply walk up these stairs next to the water fountain and run to the exfil marked by this yellow circle. Even if you're standing in the vision cone of these guards, it won't really matter as long as you press the interaction button to play this cutscene where your character kind of fumbles around trying to find the buttons that opens up the gate. Once this cutscene plays out and you haven't been detected, you just have one more guard to kill before you leave the island. See this guy right next to the bike? Dome him with your pistol, grab the bike, and take this path to the right of the helipad so you don't alert the guards standing inside the circle, then drive between these trees and jump off the cliff. Once you do that, you're gonna land in between these sea mines, and that's how you know you're in the right spot. El Rubio will end up scrambling his chopper, but you can ignore him completely and swim down through this ravine. Keep swimming for about 10 seconds and that text on the bottom of your screen will disappear. Now you're in the clear, and you've completed Cayo Perico along with the Elite Challenge. Congratulations. There's also an alternate route route you can follow if you want to kill the Juggernaut, and so for that, simply head in the reverse direction as soon as you come up out of the sewers, then take a right after climbing the stairs and kill this guard. Then shoot the camera in the courtyard and pump the Juggernaut full of lead before he can even react. The aggressor loadout with the shotgun makes this super easy, but you can also use an assault rifle if that's what you have, and from here, you can head straight to the compound and kill any guards in your way, as there is no Juggernaut to spot their bodies. But yeah, that's all I have for this Cayo Perico guide. As you can see, even though I got Sinsamito Tequila, I still made over $1 million. Deducting that 100k setup, that's over $900,000 in profit for under an hour of gameplay. And if you come back after 2 hours and 24 minutes, you'll be able to lock in hard mode, which will increase the elite challenge payout to $100,000 and boost the value of your primary target by 10%. So even with Sinsamito Tequila, you'll make over $1.1 million next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you found it informative, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well if you want to see more GTA Online content like this. Feel free to check out my Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram social media links linked down in the description below, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv. I read all my chats when I live stream money grinding in GTA Online, and also check out my YouTube shorts and TikToks for daily short form rapid fire GTA Online tips, tricks, news, updates, tutorials, leaks, guides, and more. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios, amigos.